Hey John, I wanted to show you how your case is looking. So we got this piece done, and I like the pattern. I really do. I like it. And this is your receive amp, and this is your TX amp, and that right there, that's just a little modulation lamp. Whenever you key up and start talking, it'll light up. That lets you know that, hey, the keying circuit's working. And the back side, show you what's going on here. This is where your power comes in, your DC power, antenna plug, and your radio socket. This right here is for a remote. I can't remember if we talked about one of those or not. Normally I don't. Most of the time when we're talking amp builds, people just want the amp built, and you know, they don't even bring up receive amps or preamps or sideband functionality. You know, they just want to turn it on and go. So a lot of times it, you know, escapes my mind to mention, oh hey, you know, we can also do, but you know, what this is for, it's going to look like a mic socket. It's not going to be 4-pin. It's probably going to be 5-pin. And the reason why is because if we, you know, want to make up a remote cable so that you can put this behind your seat or trunk, wherever it needs to, you know, wherever it's going. I don't know where it's going. If it's going up front, then you don't need a remote. But I'm still, even if you don't use one or want one or need one, I'm still going to put a socket here for future use. Okay. Now how exactly does that work? Well, usually on the other end I have little bitty tiny black project boxes. Little bitty tiny, they're about that tall and maybe about that thick, and you know, probably about that wide or so. So they're real small. And usually whatever you have up front, like TX switch, receive amp switch, we're going to mirror and put in that little project box so that you can operate them remotely. So that, and your switches in the little project box would match, would be the same type of switches that are going in here. I just like uniformity. I just do. Now, main purpose of this video is to show you what the graphics is looking like. Let you know about my little blunder. It was late last night when the ink finally, you know, dried, and I was able to handle it, and I was impatient, and I wanted to see what it looked like. And I forgot to cut this white border off. And it's not butt to butt. It does overlap, okay? But you can't, I mean, it's so thin, you can't hardly feel it. And right now, it's delicate because, I mean, hey, it's vinyl sticker paper. But that's what I use this right here for. UV clear coat. And that helps. It makes it more durable. And it's going to get several. You know, I'm not a heavy coat person. It'll probably get anywhere from 5 to 10 coats, just depending on how I feel about it. So I want to show you my little blunder, and of course, thank goodness it's on the bottom, so I wasn't about to rip all that off and paint a new piece. And sometimes your amp did very, very well on the corners, in my opinion, because sometimes these corners can be really hard, and sometimes when you start to bend and roll the sticker down and it gets to the corner, you know, you can get that little bunch. And so most of the time you have to like cut a little V out so that you can lay it down without it bunching up. So normally I think, you know, yours has not torn. Yeah, So yours hasn't torn. At all. But most of the time on these little corners, you know, it's going to be real hard to see, especially with the cover on it. Now this is what the cover looks like kept aluminum. Okay? Because, you know, we didn't really talk about it. Most of the time people just want this in the back done, and the rest they don't care. I mean, sure, I'll save ink and paper wherever I can, but I love that pattern. I love that lightning. Your fan does light up green, but it's, you know, it's kind of like that clear, transparent fans. You know, in other words, they're clear. You will have a chrome grill that goes, you know, that goes over it. And I kind of want to see the whole thing done like that. I really do. Now you might like it. You might want to leave this aluminum. I'm not, you know, I'm not sure, because I mean it would match the little chrome casing of your switches. But your fan guard is going to be chrome. And I honestly, I want to see the whole thing done. I really do. And that right there is from the factory or shipping. It's got a little scuff in there. I saw it when it first came in. But, you know, it was actually put on there. It was put on there before the clear got sprayed, because you can't feel it, but you can see it. So that was done from the factory. Now, where was it at? Okay, back here, it does have a roughness feel to it. Not sure if you can, yeah, you see that little, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a bunch of little specks here. It has a rough feel to it, like they had some trash in their spray gun or something. But if you want it stickered or not, regardless if this gets paper or not, that is going to get some sanding, light sand, and resprayed clear. Now, if you want this whole thing done, stickered, in which I want to see it done, you know, we'll sand that, and then clean the debris off with some of that rubbing alcohol, then sticker it, then put the clear. But yeah, man, I really love how that turned out. But seeing that, you know, I kind of want to see the rest of it done that way. But I wasn't going to just do it, because you might like this look, you know, better than it all being done. But just by me looking at it, I want to see it all done. But I'm going to leave that decision up to you. You let me know. You let me know if you prefer it this way, combination, or let me know if you want this done, you know, if you want this dolled up like the front and the back. Man, it looks good. I really like that pattern. See, I just on the amp, it's pretty much done. It's pretty much ready to be dumped in here and hooked up. But you know, we got to do this first. We got to get this sprayed clear first. And that was going to be my job today, was clear this and work on this if it's what you want. And now I want to do it. And I don't, you know, I can't remember if I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, but I don't charge you for this part, for this stuff. For, you know, printing on vinyl paper and the ink, and I don't charge for that, simply because this part of it is fun to me. I just like aesthetics. I'm an aesthetic person, and I want to see the whole thing like that. I really do. But this is going to be your amp, so, and you might like this combination as opposed to the whole thing being done. But I'm just picturing it in my head, and I'm just gonna. I don't want to try to sway you into making up your, a decision or anything. I want to do what you want done. So if you like it this way, we'll leave this alone, and then we'll just sand that a little bit, because that does feel rough. I do not like that. We'll sand this down, clear this, and get this cleared and start putting it together. Or if you want this completely done the same way, let me know. Probably not going to do any clear coating today. It's raining. So, oh man, I'm sorry. My wife still had some stuff in the draining board, but yeah, just let me know what you think, and let me know what you decide on this. And like I said, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. Oh yeah, I will mention this. It's the vinyl sticker paper I get is pretty much like the same size as you get, plain paper, 8x11, and an 8x11 sheet comes all the way and then stops about right here, along in here somewhere. And so what we'll probably do is, I've actually got that on, yeah, I've actually had that on wrong. This side, if you want the whole thing done, this side over here, we'll probably print one piece to come from here straight down, and we'll cut, just like we did with the switches, we'll cut all these little vents out, and then we'll make another piece to come here, and then it'll overlap on this side. I would rather have an overlap on the side that's away from you, so that you don't really notice it. But I mean, you're not, I don't think you're really going to notice it that much, except for maybe where the pattern might change a little bit. And I definitely don't want to seam or up here on the top. I'd rather have it on the side here. And also, as before stated, I'm not a laminator, I'm not a graphics artist. I just think it's fun. And so if there's a little imperfection, like a little overlap or something, just don't hold me accountable if there's a little imperfection somewhere. I'm real picky, and so I beat myself up a lot whenever I make mistakes. So just let me know what you'd like to do. If you'd like to see this all done up, sticker, same pattern, let me know. Again, it's not an issue. Don't, I mean, yeah, of course, it'd be saving a little money on ink and paper, because it's going to take 2 sheets to do this, but it also took 2 sheets to do the front and back, of this piece. But don't let that bother you, because to me it's fun. I really want to see this whole thing done. It'll be the first it'll be the first amp that I completely do whole, because most of the time it's just the front and back, and people normally keep this, as is, because most of the times they don't care. Most times people don't care if it's just this. They just want to know what's on, what's antenna, and what's radio. That's all they want to know. They don't care about patterns and stuff. But I do, man. I do. I love aesthetics, and I love I'm just that type of guy. So just let me know what you'd like to do. Want the whole thing done? Let's do it. If you want this kept the way it is, but sand that down and respray so that it's on the other side. You know, so that it don't have that little gritty feel to it. You know, we'll clean that up. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, you know, now it's like so. I mean, you might like it like that. I kind of do. I think I'm good either way. I'm good either way, but I think I think it would be cool to see what it looks like. You know, all you know, pattern across the whole thing. But then again, that might be too much. It's kind of hard to visualize it in my head until I actually see it. But why don't you think about it and let me know what you want to do. If you like it this way, we'll leave it this way. If you want to see this done the same way, in which I kind of want to see it done that way, but will it be too much? You know, just let me know. Think about it and let me know what you'd like to do.